Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Good, you are good, I'm good. If you're happy, I'm happy. Did he miss me? Let me tell you something about me. When I was growing up, I was reading Wattpad, romance novels. You know, I'm a romantic guy. But imagine you're 9 and your boyfriend is 30. How would that make you feel? I would not feel good. I feel like that's not in the elementary school curriculum. So today we are talking about The Dragon King's Bride. Sounds like a really cool book. You know, it has a, what's the rating on this again? 90 million views. 90 million. That's like the population of, how many people are following this? 1.6 million. That's like how many blood cells are in your and guess what the rating is? 8.91. This must be such a banger. This must be a Shakespearean masterpiece. Little did you know that 90 million people are pedophiles. Are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile? This is a child. 90 million people are pedophiles. Excluding me, I'm not. I only read like the first 10 episodes, but even in the first 10 episodes, there's already activity manifesting itself. Let's dive into what this webtoon is. Let's find out how this dragon king found his bride. Oh, and this is water. All I'm saying is that I cannot go through this sober. So immediately, this episode contains depictions of graphic violence and child abuse. So we're off to a great start. So we start off, set yourself in the scene. We're in a fantasy land. This is like medieval times. There's like medieval people. They wipe their ass with leaves in this era. We start off and there's this little white girl running through the woods. Someone put their tampon into sport mode and it's getting away. We know 3 things about this child. 1, she is running away from something and we don't know what. 2, her mom is a hoe. And 3, this girl has been abused. So all we know is that she got slapped the out of. Okay, and then she got told by the whole town her mom was a hoe. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's use another respectful word. Her mom was... Actually, her mom is just her mom. We are not slut shaming in this castle. Another thing you need to know about this girl, she has healing powers. She has the power to heal. That becomes relevant actually very soon. So basically, she like sees this fire in the woods and she goes towards it because why not? I guess she has nothing better to do. And then she finds a dragon and then she goes towards it because I guess she has nothing better to do. Kids are truly stupid, really stupid creatures. And then she sees the dragon is injured and she's like, do you want help? I'm gonna heal you with my healing powers. Why is she helping this dragon? Because she's an empath. She says, I know how hurtful wounds can be. And it's like, you got slapped once. Let's not be dramatic. This is like watching Matilda if Matilda was fucking dumb. And then she just passes out. I can't blame her. That happens to me too when I stand up too fast and I have a like iron deficiency. Well, you might be thinking there's an unconscious girl. What is this dragon going to do? Is he going to feast on her unconscious body? No. Because actually, this dragon is Sephiroth. If Sephiroth worked at Starbucks. This little girl may have been abused and she might have passed out, but you know what? Maybe that was a good thing because we got to see some midriff. Sephiroth kneels down. He's like, what a fearless little girl. What a fearless little girl for going up to a dragon. She is so brave. Like, I wish I got this kind of positive reinforcement when I did dumb fucking decisions. Was Gabby Hanna fearless when she released a poetry book? I don't know. He picks her up and you might be thinking, oh my god, she is saved because a man with midriff arrived and rescued her, because the next panel, she is now an adult. But even though she is older, she is still getting shit talked. All these nursing home bitches just can't keep their mouth shut. Like, they're probably just jealous that she doesn't need a catheter. I don't know what their problem is. Also, the girl behind her brushing her hair is saying her face looks terrible. Like, right behind her. Word on the street, she is actually going to become the king's concubine. And the reason they dyed her hair blonde is because the king likes people with blonde hair. But they're also saying that she's not gonna last long because he also kills them when he gets bored of them. Is this a king of a castle or is this Hitler? Now you might be wondering, how did we get into this situation? She got sold. You really thought you got saved by a hot dude with midriff? You got sold by a hot dude with... Quick correction, he did not sell her. I don't know why I thought he sold her. He just took her back. Her family sold her, obviously. I don't know why I said he sold her, but anyways, he did not sell her with midriff. This is probably how Leonardo DiCaprio finds his girlfriends. He just kidnaps 9-year-olds. But you know what? She may have been trafficked, but she is looking stunning. She is looking extra Aryan today. Very Celtic, very supreme. Now, you might be thinking, she might get sold to Hitler. Who's gonna stop them? Well, we're in luck because this leprechaun looking ass Twinkeloss, he just dropped some fat stacks on the ground. What does this have to do with anything? He robbed some graves. He was grave robbing. He was hustling and bustling. And so basically the dragons come, they mess everything up. Everyone is dying, and then wait a minute. I recognize that midriff. As they're viciously killing the citizens, they have a moment where they lock eyes. And this is how I knew immediately that this is dumb. And you're gonna look at him in the eyes like this is a Taylor Swift music video. I guess they have some horny telepathy going on. Like, put them on a Jubilee episode. I'm sure that'll do great. He's back. Yes! Yes! I can't wait to be his little Tamagotchi. Well, anyways, it looks like Fireboy is gonna meet his water girl very soon. Immediately, a couple things I want to know. He was a full-grown man when she was like 9. And we're off to the races. The grooming has started. So when he was saying that she was such a fearless little girl, what he was really saying is she's very mature for her age. Like, you met her before she even started menstruating. You met her when she needed a booster seat to ride a horse carriage. Let that sink in. Like, she's not even old enough to die of cholera. So the dragons are obliterating the castle. And like, the whole time, this old bitch has been stun locked half the time. Like, she is all bark, no bite. Like, she was talking mad shit. And look at what happens. Let this be a lesson. This is who your haters are. And the Twinkeloss is hiding behind her. How are you hiding behind a geriatric woman? This Twinkeloss probably got breastfed until he was 12. So blonde girl is trying to escape. I don't think this is gonna work out for her because she's dressed like she's going to the Met Gala. Like, how is she even gonna escape? Liza Koshy is gonna be waiting outside the wall. So then they surrender. Throats are getting slit. It's like an Al-Qaeda live leak video. Basically, Twinkeloss is like, spare me. I'll do anything. I'll suck your dick. And then instead of taking accountability, he's like, it's the Dark Mage's fault. Okay, so we're blaming the Dark Mage now. Did BLM teach you nothing? You're telling me a Dark Mage told you to rob the tombs? But they end up being spared. How? She offers her daughter. That's right. She got trafficked not once, but twice. Honestly, that's kind of a flex. Like, if I was getting traded, this bitch is getting traded like a Pokemon card. And so basically, Sephiroth has something against King Brian. And so he agrees, not because he actually wants her, but because he just wants to get back at the king. It's always a good reason. That's a good start to a relationship. She's basically a rebound, if you think about it. Yeah, so as I predicted, she did not escape. As soon as Sephiroth asked for her, a dragon took her. This guy is just fucking door dashing e-girls over here. Daddy wants what daddy gets. If daddy wants minors, daddy will get mine. So she gets airdropped, she gets drop shipped, and then he also is like, she's not that pretty. So like, I guess it's just universally accepted that she's not pretty, but like, she is pretty though. These webtoons are literally designed to give you body dysmorphia, because it's like, what do you mean she's not pretty? Do you see her like small nose, sharp chin, skinny waists? And they did that in True Beauty too. Literally, a girl will have freckles or like a mole, or like she just won't have makeup on, and they're like, this is the most hideous thing I've ever seen. Okay, first weird occurrence. He looks at her and has flashbacks to the 9-year-old he met. She is offering you this girl to marry, and the first thing you think of is, huh, that reminds me of this one 9-year-old I met. Ladies, imagine if a man or a woman, something takes you on a date, and then you ask him, so like, why did you go out? What do you think is pretty about me? And then he's like, you remind me of this one 9-year-old I met. Okay. You're saying I look youthful. Oh no, they met 10 years ago. Okay, that's still weird though. She was a girl 10 years ago, and now 10 years later, she is, yeah, no, she's still getting groomed either way. And then this old hag is basically like, okay, her face might look busted, but trust me, I can give her a rhinoplasty and a BBL. And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a choice, okay? Do you want to become my bride? Not because you're pretty, but because you remind me of a 9-year-old. And he's basically like, marry me or die. The grooming begins. So episode 3, so obviously she chooses not to be dead. Buried alive? I don't want to die. I'll marry you. And I'm just like, well, you're not dead. You're buried alive. So she's like, fine, I'll marry you. And then he asks her, what's your name? My name is Lucina. And his name is Hakan, and he's gonna take good care of her. Also, it's really funny that suddenly flowers are coming out and we're supposed to think this is romantic, even though he's literally like just told her to get married or die. Also, when she said Lucina, that means the moon in Bryonian. I think this is the first sign that Hakan might be gay. He's into astrology, and that must mean he's gay. So he might be homosexual, unfortunately, or fortunately, or I don't know, depending on who you are. So anyways, now we're getting Shotgun married because he wants to be a homewrecker ASAP. Like, okay, Ariana Grande, calm down. I can't. Guys, you don't understand how romantic this is. He just killed her entire village and is now proposing to her. Like, if he wanted to, he would kill your entire village. So anyways, the officiator is reading the vows, the bitch is having a panic attack. So now they have to kiss, and I'm really confused right now because half the time it's like hella romantic and half the time it's not. Like, we just get reminded that we're in a battlefield. But anyway, they kiss and then she like passes out. Now, this is like the second time she's just passed out around him. And you know, every time you pass out around this guy, nothing good happened. Like the last time you passed out around this guy, you got trafficked. So I don't know what's about to happen. I also don't know how the fuck she, like, did he have chloroform in his mouth? Did he tongue kiss her brainstem? Why does she keep passing out like that? The old hag realizes after some post-nut clarity that she actually should not have offered her up because that girl was supposed to be her offering to King of Brian. I guess she was supposed to pay for his college tuition. Unfortunately, you're just gonna have to pray your student loans get forgiven. You know what? We may have lost all of our knights, but you know how we can get her back? Hire a bunch of mercenaries. I don't understand how they are going to hire mercenaries when they don't have money left. They have nothing left. Everything like burned down. How do you have money left? Like, is she about to take out a payday loan? I don't understand. Like, she's about to appear on Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer. Dumbass queen keeps paying for mercenaries. She wakes up and now she's flying spirit to wherever the fuck Sephiroth came from. But he's actually kind of looking after her needs because they stopped to feed her. Baby girl, don't starve yourself. You're so sexy. And then suddenly he has like these ass puppy eyes, like beta submissive looking ass. Like one hand he's killing the village and the other hand he's looking like he wants to get pegged. And then he's like, there's no need to be shy. It's like, yeah, well, you just killed my entire village. You know, that's exactly what my school counselor told me before calling CPS on my family. Even though she does not want to go out with him, which makes sense, she smells food and she's like, you know what? I might as well, like, fucking fat ass. He is wooing her over right now with this glamorous date. And guess what? He got her Subway. He got her a 6-inch and he's about to give her his other 6-inch. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna kill my village, can you at least get me the footlong and not the 6-inch? Come on, ladies, have some standards. So that Subway sandwich was so delicious. She starts filming a Head and Shoulders commercial. We get some peak webtoon writing right here. She said it tastes so good from the bread to the smoked fish and the vegetables inside. She really just named all of the ingredients. Like, what do you think? This is not a MasterChef challenge. Like, what about the ingredients? Like, if I bake cookies for someone and they're like, damn, this is so good from the dough to the chocolate chip to the egg and the batter, I'm like, okay, we'll just say you don't like it then. We gotta love some peak webtoon writing right here. And then he asks her how old she is, and she says she's 20. So if we do some calculations here, she was at the dragon 10 years ago. So that means she was 10 years old. And how old was he? I don't know, but probably too old. And then I don't understand why he's like, you're too young to be the king's bride. Because it's like, well, what the fuck are you then? You're way too young for Brian because he's too old. You should marry me instead, even though I met you when you were 10 years old, and that makes a lot of sense. So we got some lore on why King Brian is bad. Basically, King Brian sent some dragons to kill their dragon babies, and then his brother died in the battle. You kill my bro, I groom your bride. So basically, because his brother was killed, he wanted to hunt down King Brian, but unfortunately he was injured, so he had to crash land. Well, I can't get revenge on you for killing my brother, so I'm gonna become a pedophile. And he's like, well, I killed her village, so in her eyes, I must be no different than King Brian. You know, I guess that's kind of true, but it's also not true because you have midriff, and that makes you less of a pedophile. Besides, wasn't like the life expectancy like 40 back in the medieval period? So basically, like when she was 10, she was basically 20. She was 20 in the medieval years. He basically tells her like, hey, I may have just killed the entire kingdom you just came from, but I'm actually kind of a nice guy. Just reading this gave me whiplash. He only married her to get back at King Brian, right? He doesn't really have a reason to take care of her or like actually be nice to her. And so the only other possibility is that he's being nice to her because she reminds him of the 9-year-old he met 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm way too sober for this. But then he gets undressed. He's getting undressed. Look, the midriff. His pecs are in full display. Oh. Well, look what's about to happen. He just murdered her kingdom and now he's about to murder that pussy. Yeah, you get him, bro. You get that girl you met when she was 10. His tattoo looks like a Getty image, I'm not gonna lie. And then he says, we're going to be sleeping together from now on. And she's like, are we, am I about to receive his 6-inch? I think the symbolism here is very interesting because note how he gave her a Subway sandwich. I think this is an allegory for when Jared Fogle was discovered to be a pedophile. He likes 6 inches and 6-year-olds. I do not condone that. So like, she's like crying or something because she thinks she's about to get taken to Pound Town. Are your tears dripping or are you just happy to see me? You know what I'm saying? And basically he's like, no, like that.
You was like the last thing on my mind. Unless you want to.
No, babe, calm down. It's just, we have to, I just meant like sleep together. Like it's normal. We just have to sleep together and then I have to impregnate you. Like as if that's supposed to calm her down. Pregnant in this economy? Like this bitch isn't even making minimum wage. She's not getting paid. How do you think she's gonna afford a kid? Like this is not a dual income household. She doesn't have a job. We're gonna have the most amazing ethnically ambiguous babies once you succumb to me. I won't do anything to you. Not because I met you when you were 10, but because you started crying when I physically approached you. God damn it. I know this bitch is about to be like, oh my god, he did not assault me. Oh, he is so standards. He is so standards. She goes to wash her face, then she gets kidnapped by Mr. Clean because the old hag needs her back now. So they're taking her back. And then they realize that she's shaking and has red spots on her face. And then they're like, oh, she has chlamydia? She has gonorrhea? Oh, goodbye. As expected, the shirtless hot men save her. And then he's like, are you okay, baby girl? And she's like, I feel safe. You know what isn't safe? Your virginity. You know what's so funny is like reading the 14-year-old girl comments. Close your eyes. I felt butterflies. Like, damn. Well, let me introduce you to anesthesia. That shit's gotta get you going. I can't wait for the day Hakan realizes he married the girl who healed him. Yeah, I can't wait for the day he realizes he is a predator. We gotta get that rice purity score down to 0, you know what I'm saying? Episode 6. He rescues her and then pats her head. He is definitely into lollies. He definitely has a 4chan account where he types that liking lollies isn't because it's actually an attraction for the small body type and not their age. And if you love small girls, you would love North Korea, my man. You would love the malnourished bodies. What if I have to sleep with him? But then she's like, you know what? I guess that's not so bad. Stand up, okay? You can find a man. Literally just date anyone else in the tribe. So basically this elf named Puka spawns and he's just there to like tell her that if she uses her healing power, she's gonna get abused again or like kidnapped again because people are gonna see it's valuable. She also reveals that she has social anxiety, but like she's fine with the elf because she thinks it's like a creature and not a human, which men, I'm so sorry. This is how women see men that are under 6 foot. So basically she starts yapping, like just trauma dumping on this person she just met. Can't say I haven't been there. Like, what if this elf is a CCP spy? Like, have you ever thought about that? Anyways, again, no survival instinct. This dumb as hell. This is what happens when you homeschool your kids in Alabama. This is like the type of shit they get up to, okay? They cannot make friends. So then they see that she has rosacea and they think that she has like smallpox or something. Oh, well, looks like we gotta kill her. We have another feminist moment going on here, okay? Another Hakan feminist moment, okay? He's like, wait. We need to let the women speak. And Hakan is just such an inspiration for the men out there. We just need to let the woman speak sometimes. Thank you, Hakan. She has social anxiety, which was very cleverly foreshadowed a couple panels ago. And so she actually can't explain why she doesn't have smallpox, and it's actually because of her hair dye. Oh, it's actually sulfur and the crocus juice. And they're like, what? The fuck is this bitch Korean? And then she knows that she can't talk and she has social anxiety, so she's like, should I heal myself or not? And should I risk exposing my healing powers to all these hot men who might do something to me? me. Looks like we'll find out in episode 8 or episode 7. It's episode 7. God damn it. It's episode 7. It's episode 7. We'll find out in episode 7. Episode 7. Woo! Yeah, episode 7. Episode 8. Yay! Woo! Woo! Yes, I love this. Oh, I'm so excited for episode 8. Sorry, episode 7. So basically, we realize that she does not have smallpox because then they would have killed her and the webtoon would have been over. So how do we come to the conclusion that she doesn't have smallpox? It's none other than feminist Hakan. So basically, Hakan is like, ladies, your boy has communication skills. Oh, by the way, I'm over 6 foot. I don't know about you ladies, but when a man listens, the puppy skips a beat. So they're like, well, what if she has smallpox? You can't listen to her. Suddenly he pulls out his WebMD medical license and he's like, well, actually speaking, she does not have smallpox. You know, you could have just said that in the first place. Basically, she just tells him what she's been trying to tell them, which is like, it's just the hair dye, man. And then she was like, this is the first time someone listened to me. This is another thing I don't like, is like, when it's so overt that the author is trying to like make the main male interest a decent human being, it's like, is this really the standard we're trying to normalize? Like, oh, if he listens to you, well, he must be the one for you. I swear to God, like, this is why they place all these romance novels in the context of fantasy and like medieval settings. It's so that the male leads can have like the lowest bars to satisfy. They do not want to make these men work for it, okay? So basically, he finds out that the old hag sent Mr. Clean to kidnap her because they wanted her back. And he's like, how dare they want her back? How dare they do something bad to me after I spared them? He basically lifts her up as she's begging not to kill her family. What do I get for sparing them in return? Would you be interested in another 6-inch Subway sandwich? My name is Vector, and I'm about direction and magnitude. And then she says, I'll do anything you say. And then guess what? Guess what the first thing he thinks of is once she says that? Well, guess what the first thought? Normally a guy has a couple options after a girl tells you she'll do anything she wants, okay? It's either, oh man, I'm gonna get lucky tonight, or oh man, I'm gonna tell her to do my laundry. He has flashbacks to the 9-year-old girl again. Bro, this is the third strike. You know what? Take a shot every time he does something pet. Like, I'll wait. I'll do it with you. Like, we cannot have good things. This is why we cannot. He had a flashback to when she was 10 years old and he's like, kiss me. Kiss me like you kiss your Lunchables, little girl. So yeah, he's got his little buff, little aspect 2 going on. It's all good. It's all good. We're just gonna kill the mercenaries. We're not gonna kill the family, okay? The 12-year-old girls need to get off Webtoon, I swear to God, because the top comment is, he's literally the personification of a green flag. Like, how is he the personification of a green flag? Like, if any, like, he's the personification of R. Kelly. Like, I don't get it. I feel like we are sending the message to impressionable girls that this is green flag behavior. Like, oh, he might be a but he listened to me, so the only thing he should be listening to is like a therapist, like a psychologist. Society is ran by 14-year-old girls that love. Okay guys, episode 8. Woo! Woo! Yes, we are arriving to the end. We are A from B. Finally, we made it to wherever the hell we were trying to go this entire time. And we arrived to the Tayar kingdom, and I think they might have just plagiarized the Taj Mahal, which is okay. I'm not a building. I don't care. So basically she learns that, they're not actually savages because the buildings look nice. Wow, we are really, unfolding, reversing racism live reversal of racism. Wow, this is great. We have people inventing feminism. We have people undoing racism. Like, this is truly the progressive manifesto we've all been waiting for. So apparently the air smells like musk and sulfur because there's like high fire energy, whatever the fuck that means. Like, I guess we just stepped foot into the nether. They come back to the kingdom. He brought back his side hoe. So Hakan and Lucina are walking and people are judging, obviously. They think she's Bryonian, and it's like, you know, like, what's wrong with a little interracial couple? Have you ever been to like a fusion restaurant before? That shit fire. And even the maids are different races. Like, they so diverse they could appear on a campus college brochure. Interracial couples are awesome. Have you ever had Neapolitan ice cream? And then the cleric is like, oh, you brought someone with earth energy home. Like, is this earth fire energy like a metaphor for race, or am I just like tripping? He's like, god damn it, Hakan, you brought a white girl home. What the fuck did I tell you? I don't want this in my house. Well, basically they just gotta baptize her because they think that, well, if you leave the fire and if you leave the nether, and like, you lose all your luck, so you gotta like wash off all the bad luck you got when you were outside. Okay, cool. Do they also believe in interracial marriage? I don't know. And then, whoa, what is going on? There is a foreign girl hugging your man, and she might be the main hoe and you might be the side hoe. Unfortunate that it must come to this. It's always sad knowing that you're the side hoe. She immediately clocks Lucina. She's like, are women from Brian always this ugly and dirty? It's like, damn, this girl cannot catch a break. Like, is there like a purpose to like her being ugly? I don't know. Like, she kind of just keeps getting shit on, and I don't know why. And then Hakan says, oh, your trophy? This is my wife. And she's like, that's your wife? She's giving off a yellow discharge. And it's like, okay, come on. Connect her with an OBGYN, okay? This is not an issue. Okay to have chlamydia, Jared. Well, she could bake bread with that yeast. Send her to the bakery. She does not deserve to be your wife. This is just like the classic girl best friend versus girlfriend situation. Like, bro, next thing you know, Jared's gonna be posing with his cloak on her Instagram story. And then she's gonna tell Lucina, like, you have nothing. You are being so jealous. Like, your girlfriend is so jealous. Isn't she crazy? Isn't she crazy? Jared is not a girl's girl. She is not a girl's girl. Girls do not point out each other's yellow discharge, okay? If you're a real girl's girl, you're slurping that shit up, you know? Okay, guys, episode 9. That happened, and now Jared is basically like, take her to the queen's villa, Titty. And so Titty is now going to take her to the queen's villa. Hakan had an older brother, and his older brother had a wife, and the older brother died. So now she's just going down the family tree, I guess. Basically, Titty tells her that you cannot be taken to the queen's palace unless you give birth to the king's child. So she's basically saying that she's on a free trial right now, and in order to unlock the queen's palace DLC, she has to get down, which I don't think she's ready for yet, considering the fact that she was scared of a baptism. Suddenly, Puka just flies back in. Puka is basically like this thing that allows us to listen in on the thoughts of Lucina without actually having her organically reveal her thoughts or like how she feels about things. And instead, she just talks to Puka to like dump everything that she's feeling or thinking during the plot, which, you know what? That's fine. Because who the fuck wants to make inferences nowadays? And so Lucina is bathing in the hot spring, the spa, the sauna, whatever you want to call it. And then suddenly Hakan walks in. Oh no, a big shirtless buff man just walked into this pool, and it's just me and him, and oh man, I gotta hide because man, I don't want him to see me. Oh no, that would just be terrible if he like saw me with my bobs out. Oh no, how is Lucina going to get out of this pool? Catch us on episode 10. Episode 10, yay! Oh wait, oh, how is she gonna get out of this pool? Oh man, it's gonna be so bad if he catches me with his big muscles and his big 6-inch Subway sandwich. Oh man, it would be so bad if he just took my wrist and gained control over me and just did whatever he wanted to do. And like, just thinking about it makes me want to and then she messes up and Splash makes us a splash, and then Hakan is like, what? Is there a woman here? Man, I cannot stand the sight of a woman. Like, bro, what's going on here? That's a little, Hakan sees her and he thinks that she is a maid because apparently they used to try and set him up with maids because he just wasn't interested in women. Like, have you guys ever tried men? Like, have you ever tried putting him on Grindr? Maybe you should send out a messenger bird with an enema strapped to its back and maybe you'll get some more results. She realizes he saw her, so she hides by going underwater, but the water is transparent. Man, I just know if you impregnate her, that baby's gonna come out with like fucking 60 IQ. Call that pussy a garden the way she's gonna be producing vegetables when you... I am sorry, Larry from VeggieTales. I did not mean to offend you. With those kinds of, again, with these survival instincts, like this girl should have died a long time ago. I'm just saying. Okay, so he catches her and then he's like, wow, she's beautiful. Her eyes and her white hair, that reminds me of this 10-year-old girl again. So the implication here is that she's more beautiful now without her blonde hair because she now has the hair color that the 10-year-old girl has. Maybe he's just starting to embrace that he's a pedophile. I don't know. And then he actually starts connecting the dots. This white-haired girl might be the girl I've been predating on this whole time. And whoa, another feminist moment. When he caught her, he didn't hit her. Guys, we might have to award the Nobel Peace Prize of Feminism to Hakan because I think he did not hit her. This is wow. He might be a but he doesn't physically abuse me, so you know what? We are on the come up. We are on the come up. So then she tries to leave and then he grabs her by the hair and he's like, wow, we're not finished bathing yet because wow, thinking of 10-year-old children really gets me going, huh? I love those baby sensory videos. I want to nut on those blueberries so bad. Okay guys, so that was The Dragon King's Bride and that was the 10th episode. Woo! What's so interesting is that half the people are like, impregnate her, make her the queen. If she doesn't want to, then I volunteer as tribute. And then the other half, okay, the other half is like, let's not forget, he is literally thinking of a child every time he thinks about getting freaky with her. And like the 12-year-olds are still going crazy over him and like just blatantly ignoring the other he did to her. Like, he gave her an ultimatum to die or get married. They're treating you good, but like at the end of the day, they still forced you into this arrangement that you did not consent to. Just because they're treating you well after that does not undo the bad things that they did to you at the beginning of the relationship and like force you to kiss him and now you have to get pregnant with his kid. This is just me, my opinion. Have higher standards. That is The Dragon King's Bride, and I'll see you hopefully not in 3 to 4 months. And also drink responsibly. I'm of legal age. Don't drink if you're not of legal age. And don't date people who met you when you were 10 years old and they were a legal adult. Bye.